Well, as you have seen in the introduction, how they rule, or who are the rule. So now we are going to analyze and look at the reasons to why the rule might have migrated from their cradle land to East Africa. And before we go to the rule, let's first try to see what can make someone to move from one place to another. For example, you moving from your village to somewhere else. You may be having, maybe you have gone there to study, others go there to get good jobs, and others go there to get other social services. So the same applies to the rural. They might have moved from their cradle land because of the so many reasons. However, since we are not so certain about the reasons which might have forced them to move from their cradle land, we don't have a clear explanation or reasons which historians can assert that these are the reasons why the rural might have moved from their cradle land. So we have so many reasons which, if analyzed very well, we can come up with a conclusion that the rural might have moved from their cradle land to East Africa because of the following. So let's look at the first one. Overpopulation. Overpopulation, this is a point where the current or the total land area is more than, or where the total area can't carry the people around the place. So, because of the overpopulation due to good maybe no epidemic diseases, the rural might have increased in the number, and as a result, they lacked where to grow crops, where to settle, and in order to reduce that extra population, some of them might have decided to move to East Africa because by then it was still a bit free. Then we can also see that most of the rural were pastures. So, because of overpopulation and other things, the rural might have decided to move to East Africa in order to search for greener pastures and water for their animals, since most of them are pastures. Then we can also look at the point of internal quarrels. As a family, and as you increase the number, you realize that you start now fighting for the little resources you have in the family. So some of them might have moved because of the internal conflicts, whereby a brother can start fighting you, and you still do things even in your villages, whereby your fellow brother can even kill because of land and other things. So the rural might have also moved from their cradle land because of such internal conflicts among the family members or clan members or tribal mates. Then we can also see the external pressure. The external pressure was mainly forced by other tribes, mostly from Ethiopia and other neighboring communities, whereby by that time so many tribes were attacking each other in order to either to root their produce and also maybe to expand their kingdom. So that one might have forced the rural to, because they might have been a bit inferior to the outer tribes. So that one might have forced them to move to East Africa in order to get safe grounds where they may not be attacked. Then we also see that the natural calamities, mostly caused by the Nile, might have forced most of them to move to East Africa. Remember, most of them were staying around the Nile River, and at times, mostly during the heavy rains, it used to flood and destroy their property, their houses, and other things. So that one might have forced them for safer places where they can stay and continue with a good life. Then we also realize they need to export their political and social cultures. As we see, because of the overpopulation, they had started centralizing themselves and organizing themselves into political units. So because of that, they got the guts of exporting such political and social ideas to the different parts of the world. So that might have forced them to come to East Africa. Then love for adventure and exploration. As you see, most of people, for example, who come from the rural areas, they also admire to come to Kampala and see the things in Kampala. So that love for you to come to Kampala and realize what is in Kampala, that's the same thing which happened to the rural. Most of them wanted to come and see what was happening in other parts of the world. So the end result was for them to come to East Africa. Then we also see the point of culture. We also see the point of overstocking and overgrazing. Then we have the fertile lands. They were searching for the fertile lands. Remember, most of them, food is the essential basic need in everyone's family. And they couldn't stay in their cradle and if they were lacking much to eat. So most of them might have moved to East Africa in order to search for fertile soils or fertile lands to support agriculture and carry out crop growing such that they can support their families. Then you also have group influence. As for you decide to come to study in this school, you might have been advised by your friend that at this school we are having good teachers, we are having good things. So that one, that influence they caused to you, that's the same thing which might have also been imposed to these rules. As a few of them who had come to East Africa had seen the good things, as you have seen, we have the fertile soils, we have other things. So that one might have forced them to come to East Africa. Then on the last side, also see famine that led to starvation might have forced so many rules to migrate to East Africa. As you have seen earlier, that they experienced the natural calamities. So that flooding and other things forced so many, caused starvation and hunger in what? Among the rules. So the only survival route was to come to East Africa to search for better place such that they can support now the land which can support agriculture and other things such that they can have a living. Then the diseases like smallpox in Ghana. Remember, the Luo were pastoralists, and these diseases were affecting most of their cattle. And as a result, they said the only way to survive is to escape from this land. It seems it is now cursed. So the only way was to move to East Africa so that they can now continue with their pastoralism. Then they might also been believed that they moved to East Africa because of the invasion of the locusts. So these desert locusts were destroying all the crops they were growing, and as a result, they said, no, we can't survive. Remember, by then we didn't have the technology to spray or to kill these locusts. So the only way was to just run away from them and look for safer places. And lastly, the Luo, as we know, even here in Uganda, they were warriors naturally. So they loved fighting, and as a result, they wanted bigger areas. Remember, they knew that we can fight and win. So they couldn't fear anything, which might have forced them maybe to say, now if we go in Uganda, assuming they defeat us. So for them, they were very determined and the warriors naturally. So that one gave them the courage to fight or to get the guts of coming to East Africa to fight and defeat and occupy the fertile lands. Thank you very much. Wish you the best.